There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see your face here before me. I long for the times you held me in your arms. Whoa. How I wish that you were here to give me everything I want. But I know that life's unfair and we can't always have it all. Whoa, whoa, I wish that you were here. Whoa, whoa, I wish that you were here.
Hello everyone, I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm looking at my mixer and it's telling me you can hear me, but you were also able to hear me at the very beginning of the stream as well, which is not what we wanted to have happen, of course. So yeah, apologies for that. For whatever reason, my mixer's just decided to stop working and play you guys wherever I'm talking about in the background. But anyway, I am Reaper Steve. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. We're going to be watching, for some reason, it hasn't updated from Team Tan, from Team Duo to Team Tan. So I'll just update that very, very quickly while we're in the process of doing this. The logo is updated at least anyway, so that's always a good thing. But tonight we are going to be watching Team Tan versus Divergentes Esports. I'm very much looking forward to this one. Both teams are obviously looking for wins. It goes without saying, of course. Tail of the tip so far for both these sides, just to quickly run you back through everything that's happened over the last 3 weeks. We have Team Tan currently on they've won 2 games back to back and then they lost 1 previous. against Wilder's Devil. That match taking place on Monday. It was the match that was missed, unfortunately, but nonetheless, a game that came to quite a nice head in the end. It was 16-12 overall, the scoreline was, so not too bad in that sort of sense. Not a massive loss like we saw originally when they played against Team Netron, for example, at the very beginning of this league and this season, where they lost 16-6. So, good things to come back from that. They won 2 games prior to that, one against Love Muffin and one against Team Spend. 16-4 against Team Spend, 16-4 against Love Muffin as well. So, on the up, definitely, in that sort of respect. We move against then to Divergentes Esports, French national team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They are currently 2-2. They've had 2 wins, 2 losses. Their last game, they beat V Team 16-4. UK Irish CS, they beat 16-5. But then prior to that, they lost to Norden Esports 16-5 and Azikami 16-12. So, quite a formidable team. I think this is going to be quite a well-matched lineup against both teams. Just going off what we can see from the stats from both teams over the last couple of weeks. We are a week 3, though, of ESEA, and as I've said numerous times before, it ain't over yet. There's still a lot of games left to play. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left for Team Tan to play, at least in this season in the Open. So, it's still anyone's game in that respect. At the minute, Team Tan are currently sat on my last check, and I'm going to check it now as we're speaking because I don't want to get it wrong and have Jakey come down the microphone and tell me I'm wrong. 426th in the Open. Again, that is, of course, with 709 teams in play. The opposition for this evening, Divergence. We call them Divergence. They're currently sat at 373rd in the league. So, not a million miles away from each other, in the grand scheme of things. And definitely, I feel a bit more of a fairer lineup than we've seen over the last couple of weeks with the EsportsWales side. Once again, of course, this is the first match of 3 for this week. I am trying to do at least 3 games a week, or at least 2 games a week, 3 if possible. So tonight we'll have the Team Tan guys. Tomorrow night we have, and I'm going to pull up my schedule that I put together so I know exactly what games we're covering and when. Where is it? There it is. Tomorrow night we have Team Dur, and they're going to be facing off against UKN Hub. That'll be at 7:30. And then we have Team La coming out against QWERTY on the 5th at 7:30 as well. So you've got 3 games lined up for you over the next couple of days. It'll be myself managing the reins and trying to keep everything going, and trying to not allow the production staff at EsportsWales to kick me where it hurts, while trying to maintain a more professional atmosphere on the desk. But otherwise, though, with just waiting on, I think, 2 players. Yeah, 2 players left to jump into the game. And then once they're in, we should be able to start this off. Once again, of course, the game is being played now. So they're already actually in their first rounds now. I don't see that, of course. What we see is the delayed version of it. ESEA has an automatic delay, so that way then we don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it covered. I don't think I've missed anything. Pause and delays. I say this every time. I'm going to say it at the start of the stream today, rather than doing it, midway through like we normally do. If we see a delay come out or a pause come out, we have no idea who's paused. We won't know who's paused. We can kind of guesstimate based on what's happened prior to that pause going into play. If someone's had a bit of a bad round or someone's had a very good round, either way, we can kind of understand which way that pause has come in the end, but it's not a guarantee, of course. ESEA doesn't allow us to see it, so we won't know. We need a few wins, though. I think that's safe to say as far as Team Tan are concerned. Tomorrow night, of course, as I mentioned, I'll be looking at Team Dura, and we'll be going through their stats beforehand, and we'll do the same for Team Art on Friday night as well, also. Again, we're still waiting on 2 additional players to jump into the server, and then we can go live. So I'll have a quick look through chat. I mean, you can see John there. Thank you once again, John, for having me, as always. Need a few wins, most definitely. Jakey, 100% correct what he's saying. 709 teams, so 256 teams qualify for playoffs. Yes, again, indeed, bang on with the money there, bang on with the numbers. I just think, the Open is such a volatile a volatile league to play in that respect. You got your teams in there which are like banging out games. We watched the game last week. It was MLKSS. They're like 73rd in the league, but they're playing. I think it was Team Dura, if I'm not mistaken, who were like 100 or a couple of quite a few hundred below them. Um, you know, it's that kind of weirdness with the league. I don't tend to like it myself personally. I don't like the way that it's run in that respect. But 69th, sorry, they are in the league. Just pulling up their stats now, and it was against Team Dur. Yeah, I was right. Yeah. I have actually got Observer Tools set up, Cody, so I'll try my best to get as much as I can for you. We will try our best to get as much as we can. It's safe to say, and I've said this numerous times before, and just to like kind of throw this out there. Normally, I sit here with the microphone, I just talk. I have an observer and a producer to work with, but at the minute I'm producing and observing as well as talking to you at the same time. So I apologise if I do miss kills or I do slip up here and there with the camera angles. It's purely because I'm not used to having to do it. So Jakey's like put me through this massively, I'm not going to say a rushed crash course on how to produce and how to observe. Are very much like not a rush course as such, but he's helped me out massively over the last couple of weeks to get myself into the swing of things, knowing how I need to set cameras up and that, and having angles ready and everything else. But I will do my best. I promise you that. I'll do as much as I can, at least anyway. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. I think we have. No, we don't have all the teams in. Mister's playing tonight though for Team Tan, so that should be fun. I'm just looking at the lineup of the players in the server. So we've got Wally, we've got Ryback, got Ollie, got Pommy, and Mister. It's not a bad stack, actually, when you consider it. I think we are just waiting on one additional player. That is line. Yeah, no, I know that's the lineup. But what I'm saying is, as in, no subs in Team 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. Anders is the yeah, okay. It's me reading the numbers completely wrong. It's the main roster. I know. Apologies. Anders is unpaid, isn't he? He's down as the he's down in the team list, but he's not actually in the team list. He's the team scheduler, so he's in the list of players, but he's not actually there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my bad. Apologies. Right, I think we've got all players in the server. We're just gonna wait for them to ready up. And get pistol round underway. I tell you what, actually, let's do this. We will do the knife again. I know people don't like to watch it, and some people do, some people don't, because it's a bit of a cluster, to be honest with you. It's very hard to keep up with as far as cameras are concerned and everything else. But I really enjoy watching knife round. I don't know about you guys. Oof, rip indeed. I feel you on that one, mate. I had the worst time last week. I actually messaged Jake in between finishing work and I was due to stream in the night. No, that's weird. My internet took a very big dip there. Apologies for that. I don't know what just happened. Everyone might need to refresh, maybe. Let me have a look. That was strange. Apologies for that. I say apologies. I don't know why I apologise and I can't control Twitch. But for whatever reason, they just tank the upload and then reset the upload. But yeah, no, I was messaging Jakey last week because I was supposed to cover one of the games on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday night. And I messaged Jake while I was in work, and I was like, look, I say in work, and I was working from downstairs. I'm working from home permanent at the minute. And I messaged him going, bro, tonight's not going to happen. He's like, why? I was like, I've just been throwing up everywhere for like the last 24 hours. I'm like not feeling myself. Like I'm in a really bad place at the minute. He was like, yeah, you're good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, you're ill kind of thing. Hence why we covered 3 games last week and 3 games this week. But yeah, I was just not in the best of shapes. which is not nice. But I'm back to normal at least anyway. I say back to normal. Not really. I'm really hoping that my beard like somehow just sprouts back before Epic Land. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a really bad time. Because I think all the other hosts are probably gonna rip into me massively for having shaved my beard into a mustache. It's not looking good. We're still waiting on players to ready up, boys. Hopefully, it won't be too much longer. I know, knife round. I can't make him slack, can I? I'm watching the game. I've got it up on my other screen. I'm looking at it. They're buying weapons and everything. There's no knife round. Jake's like a dog. He is definitely. I agree with that. That is a statement and a half. Give me the I don't normally have chatter. Like, this is a new experience for me, Jake. You're the one that normally monitors chat, and I hear you whisper in my ear going, chat didn't like the way that you said that, or chat like the way that you did this, or chat just re-in at the minute, just ignore them. And I'm like, I haven't got chat up anyway, mate, to be honest. But yeah. It's still a weird experience having chat up. Do you guys like it though? I mean, that's a big question. Like a lot of casters I've worked with, and a lot of companies I've worked for, they don't like having the casters look at chat and react to chat in that way. I feel if I'm solo commentating like I am right now, I might as well have chat up, because realistically, I'm just going to talk to myself and not know what the reaction is. Do you know what I mean? He technically is already Anders, because he messaged me about 5 minutes ago going, is your stream tanked? Like, check this, check that. So, you know, in theory, he's already doing it via text message. Chat to observe a game of CS. You could actually do that. Because realistically, like, all the camera angles and stuff are done based on key bindings. So it's possible, maybe. But yeah, if I didn't have chat up, I'd just be talking to myself at the minute, so I'd rather have chat up so I can at least communicate with you guys. Obviously, I do turn chat off when I'm in game and we're watching what's happening, so you won't hear me talking about stuff in the middle of it all. But I should probably mention as well, it's on Overpass. We're seeing a lot of Overpass this ESEA season, and I mean, a lot of Overpass being played. I kind of like it in a way. It's such a good map to play on, and it's a good it's such a good, what's it I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of the word. It's got a lot of really good control points on it. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. So I kind of like it. It's become my new vertical map, though, where I dislike the map to play it, but I also like the map to commentate on it. That's pretty much what I do as it is, though, isn't it? We won a third victory tonight, 100%, boys. Still waiting on him to ready up. This is 100% ridiculous. What is going on here? I'm just checking the match comments. There's no comments in there to say that they're unhappy. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me go ahead and turn the music off. That was copyright-free music brought to you by the power of another platform. The knife round, at least, anyway. I'm not going to do a lot of commentary on knife round, just purely because it's knife round. It does what it does. And for some reason, I think you've got my game sound not coming through. You've just got my microphone, so let me just quickly fix that. Where are you? There you go, fixed already before Jakey sends me a message saying that the audio isn't coming through. So that was the knife round over and done with. We have Team Tan on T side, and we have Divergence on Divergence Esports on CT side. But you're very interested to see which direction Bomb is going to travel for the first round. We tend to see more of a B push coming in straight up on first round. will we see that coming in from Team Tan? That is the big question. It is already starting to make its way towards B site, which is proving my point exactly, thankfully. At the minute on B site, we have a 3-man stack. We have this gentleman here, Sozjin, I'm going to call. We do also have Kota. We actually have a 4-man stack. Oh, didn't quite catch that one. I do apologise. Is this going to be a rotation back out? I mean, it makes sense to, in a way. You've got to look at where Ollie is. Ollie is already up mid, and he's just clearing through. I mean, he's not really having too much of an issue pushing through different zones. He's getting into a good place for a potential rotation to go towards A site. CTs haven't read it as of yet. They do still have an anchor player which is playing up at... he's bouncing in between checking from bank and coming back from bank. You will actually clear out Tanoli. Clear out Ollie, at least. That stops that push dead, at least. Anyway, bomb plant will start to happen, however. Mr. managed to get himself into position. A very good plant position, but he's not in a good post-plant position, at least. Anyway, he'll take a hit there as he starts to push himself backwards. Ooh, lands a perfect shot onto Twennen. A must-hit shot, in fact. Come on, Pommy. There we go. Nice headshot from Pommy. This now, the 2v1 seems to be going all the direction of Team Tan at the minute. The bomb is planted, so they have got a bit of time to play with and a bit of room to maneuver with. The defuse will start to happen. It's a mess around as far as defuse is concerned, but Pommy will pop out, and he'll finish that round off in favour of Team Tan. What a good opening round. The rotation was a little bit messy, but it worked out okay in the end. I think that's the most important thing to take into consideration from that, is that as much as it was a messy rotation, they still managed to get that little bit of extra oomph behind themselves and push on through. You know, your danger men, Wen, his name is, or Twen, I should say. You know, he did slap shots. He did start landing hits left, right, and centre. He got 2 kills for his name as far as defending A site's concerned. But ultimately, Team Tan came out on top in the end. Pommy leading the charge as far as this push from Team Tan's concerned, all the way up long to try and get themselves back into A site once again. We should start to see some decent flashbang work coming into play. That'll block site position and allow them to gain access to it. But what they don't realise is the CTs have decided to full stack the entirety of B site. Wally will get 1 kill. He's on low HP as a result of that kill. And at the minute, Ollie's trying as best as he can. Kota will fall, but he'll get taken down by Gore-Tex. And that's a Khalil lost, and maybe a Khalil that can be recovered, in fact. Mister's still hanging loose, very, very close to that smoke, covering that staircase. Zeus in the hands there of Sozin. Maybe hoping a little bit too much for that Zeus kill. Yeah, the Khalil is going to get saved and taken back. He's going to push out, but yeah, Mister's there waiting for it. And the Khalil will actually get saved. Dangerous weapon to have in the hands of a team which have lost 2 rounds on the bounce. This is now round 3, so we're expecting a buy run to come in from the CTs. A little bit of cash to be spent. But at the minute, it doesn't look as though they are. Are they going to buy pistols? Yeah, they are. Okay, they're going to go for a pistol push maybe. Again, they're still stacking B side. They got 3 on B. That Galil staying up on mid. The Molotov flying forward there to try and delay the T side from coming through in towards Park area. But the bomb isn't actually heading that direction. It's still heading down towards B. And at the minute, Mister is standing by, ready to wait for his additional teammate in the form of Wally to get that push working. Wally's going to switch out, go towards water. He'll swing, and he will get 1 in the end, but that's a bit of an awkward spray coming in from the Mac 11. He'll actually get 2 in the end. Kota folding immediately afterwards, and this again is just all Team Tan at the moment. Galil is still in play, but Wally will actually finish him off, and I believe Wally will probably end up upgrading off that as well. Yeah, he does indeed take the Galil with him. Now, realistically, round 3, we'd have expected a bye. This is definitely going to be a bye now as far as round 4 is concerned. They've managed to save up for 3 rounds on the bounce. They did buy a little bit into utility in the last round as far as CTs were concerned. So this now is our real first round, so to speak, where we have weapons on weapons. There is an AWP in play as well. That AWP playing quite aggressively towards Fountain. That smoke will pop through. There's no AWP on Team Tan's side of things. Pop flash there. Coming through to try and stop. Was that a shot that hit that grenade then? I think it was, actually. It's a hell of a shot if it did. And couldn't get to Palmy in time, but while he's doing his best to get the push ready to move on through, that Molotov will go towards the back of site, at least anyway, in a normally heavily defended CT position. Kota does actually take down Ryback, but Ollie is just spreading himself completely over the battlefield here, taking names out left, right, and centre. Mister there coming back to recover bomb, and at the moment, as far as fights are concerned, the next one should be Wally here taking down Kota. He's got the HP to do it. He has a flashbang if he needs to use it, but realistically, he can peek this dry as long as he's looking the right direction, but he's not. Unfortunately, he will fall to Kota. We'll add another name to his list of kills for this round. Bomb is up on B site still. Kota's actually rotated himself into a very good position, in fact, to try and prevent plant. But the AWP, recovered by Ollie, will take him out of that fight immediately. Team Tango 4-0. Good rounds from Team Tan. That was the first round they've gone up against, what potentially could be considered a formidable buy from Divergentes. And they managed to come off the better, recovering an AWP out of that as well, also, which is going to do a hell of a lot of damage economy-wise. We're going to stick with Ollie as he gets ready to take any sort of advanced shots he can down in towards CT mid. There isn't anyone there for him to take a fight with. Wally's already on site here. I feel like the CTs are just allowing Team Tan so much room to maneuver to get themselves into positions on the site. Get them that early couple of seconds where they can get post-plant position after planting. And it's very difficult to recover a site once you're in very good positions from a T-side round perspective. You've got Wally now who stood relatively close to bank. He'll get a pot flash into there, but the smoke is going to prevent him from really pushing through it unless he knows that flashbang will go all the way downstairs. Flashbang does, he swings out but doesn't actually connect anything, and he will actually get connected by Ozen. And this retake is already starting to push through here. Twen taking big strides to get himself round onto site. Ollie will pick up 1 kill out of that, but he'll fall immediately. And at the minute, it's left to Palmy in a 1v2. He needs to stop that defuse if he can. He's not going to stop it, unfortunately. And I don't think there's time, actually. There wasn't time. Oh! Team Tan got away with that. Definitely got away with that. That retake was very nice coming in with pistols. We, again, don't know who's paused the map. I would imagine this would be a CT pause because we've lost the player from CTs. But also, I mean, that's a big round that CTs should have won, in fairness. That's a huge round. Let's go ahead and check the leaderboard while we wait. See our heavy hitters so far into this round, or into these rounds. Palmy there sitting on 6 kills with 2 deaths. Going to be some good ADRs there for all of, or for the vast majority, I should say, of Team Tan. Not looking too good as far as the CT side of things are concerned at the minute, but there are still plenty of rounds left to play for. Hopefully, we'll get our 5th player back in. If not, they may have to just play with 4 for a minute. Apologies, everyone, for the delay. I think they may have to. You'd imagine they'd have to play before at some point. I mean, they can't keep it paused indefinitely unless they use all their pauses up. And as far as I'm aware, and I'm probably going to get proven wrong at some point with this. I'm waiting for the message in chat from someone who's like an ESEA expert as far as every single rule is concerned. The pauses don't have a time limit on them. Someone correct me in chat if I'm not mistaken, or they do have a time limit, but it's way more extended over what you would normally expect from from a CSMM, for example. We have our fifth player back in at least anyway, though, so we haven't got to worry about the pause any longer. Economy-wise, looking at both teams, you can certainly say that Team Tan have done a lot of saving, in the sense of not dying, or being very conservative with their deaths, at least. Managing to rack up quite a lot of cash there. They could, in theory, lose this round and still do 2-4 buys immediately afterwards. Another story, however, on the other side of things, Mister there picking up 2-3 kills on the bounce, and for whatever reason, my camera will not let me change to him. Why won't you? There we go. It didn't even let me change to him. Ollie there picking up an additional kill also. This is... Oh, sorry, already getting killed, even, I should say. Mr. basically cleared the entirety of B site on his own there, as we can see from the CT camera. Open play, gonna have to save that. Cannot afford to lose that on this round. Yes, they have max loss bonus, but realistically, we've said this before, and I'll say every single time that I get an opportunity to, you can't survive on max loss bonus constantly. There has to be a time where you make a decision to go, right, okay, well, we need to, eco 2 rounds and lose 2 rounds potentially to win the next couple. Oh, first kill will get picked up. Oh, an AWP kill does fly out, but it's not in our favour. It's actually in theirs, and Wally will fall in the end. It's an AK loss, but realistically, again, money perspective wise, we're pretty happy as far as money is concerned from a Team Tam perspective. They have a lot of cash to spread out, so they can afford to go hunting like that. Something we've not seen them do quite a lot this season, though, but they have been hunting in this round, or these rounds at least anyway, to secure those extra frags. Big push here from Team Tan's perspective. I just look to clear underneath and come back up into mid. First player that they're going to potentially come up against is going to be Ozorus. He's going to allow right back to push forward. Can't help but think that that's poor trigger discipline. Ollie is there standing by through the smoke. I think Ozorus has heard the movement, and he will actually come around and get the AK. It's now a 3v4. And you'd still expect it to go in a Team Tam perspective, though. If they get good post-plan position, and Pommy's there all the way pushed up, in fact, holding deep in that position. Wally will fall. Big kill. Big kill. Come on, mister. You can do it. There we go. Nicely done. Pommy and Mister split the difference, however, on that retake. And put in a very, very good defensive play. And at the minute, I'm loving everything from Team Tan. I have to admit it. I really am. Another match pause clothed. I would imagine that's coming from a CT perspective. Because at the minute, they don't seem to be able to figure out how to put a damper on things as far as Team Tan are concerned. I would check the scoreboards again. There isn't any point, though, because we've literally just seen them a few moments ago. We're less than 2 rounds ago. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, we'll have a look at another one of the cameras that we've got available for us today. There you go, see? I do have cameras to work with. I have some of them, at least, anyway. CT perspective, have to be an eco round. They don't have a lot of cash. And as I've said already, that max loss bonus only spread so far. Bomb, however, looks as though it's going to start making its way over towards the B site. This is a big A push, or the big CT push, I should say, into mid. Trying to hold a deep position, but realistically, Bomb is already on to B. The time it takes him to rotate from those positions, if Plant goes down very early on, Team Tan can afford to take quite aggressive post-plant positioning. Pommy's actually in a very good place as well also to delay anything from coming through. Site control has been taken already, so we will see Team Tan look to push that bomb through. We'll get the bomb plant coming out from Ryback, and at the minute the first player to take contact, in theory, should be Pommy. He's got a couple of CTs to contend with. He'll pick up the first, needs to get the second. He has taken a lot of damage. I don't think he realises how low his opponent actually is. Oh. Twen, you're incredibly lucky to get away with that. It's 2 AK recovered though, however, from a CT perspective, so the likelihood is they'll look to save those AKs rather than push through a potentially disastrous retake. Oh. Money-wise, it's okay to do this. As far... maybe not so much that. I was going to say, money-wise, it's okay for them to lose weapons. Not a full stack, though, from Team Tan's perspective. That does put a little bit of dampener on things, as far as pushing into the open arms of that Deagle. Ollie losing the AWP as well. It could be a double-edged sword in that respect. We'll stick with the AWP from Divergentes. Trying to see if we can get that early pick, but it's not going to happen. Wally there will push you into side. Take down Ozen to begin with. He's going to have to pull himself back to get him a reset ready for the push through. But Molotov is in a good place to get Coulter out of position. Smokes and Molotovs flying all over the entirety of the site now as they look to try and push this push this site push as best they can. Bomb is on spot. Oh, bomb was on spot, but it's been taken out of the fight there. And Ollie and Pommy are left with a lot to do. Ollie will get the first kill. Pommy won't get the second, however. And we'll see a first round win coming in from Divergentes Esports. (8-1), still in favour of Team Tan, of course. Still fairly happy with the money side of things. Can't really afford to lose this round. A full loss of this round. I think that would definitely put a hurt in as far as economy is concerned from Team Tan's perspective. That AWP again playing very aggressive forward. Not able to get the opening pick, so we'll have to pull back there. Looks like we're going to get a quiet push from Team Tan. I say quiet, it starts to heat up a little bit as they push through toilets. Oof. Wally mistimed that jump there. I could see the intention of jumping so you can try and get some information from it. But it almost didn't work out in his favour, in fairness. Mister is calling for support, however, he's going to start pushing way down a long... Are they going to be able to get the read that there's a CT close by? It's a good trade 1-for-1, but as far as A-Long is concerned, you'll want the additional number to help you push out from bank. Got to get bomb on site if they can. Ryback will fall down, and Mister will also fall immediately afterwards. And that's 2 rounds back to back there for Team Divergence Esports. I think, personally, and I don't know about you guys, if Team Tan lose this round, I would imagine we're going to get a pause in play. Because look at the economy difference and how much it shifted over these last 2 rounds. It's the little silly mistakes that are happening from Team Tan at the moment that's causing that economy difference to take place. So we need to wrap those little silly mistakes up in a nice clean bow. Throw them in the trash, get that out of the way, and let's get back to winning rounds like we've seen them do before. Mister will wait for that flashbang to pop, he'll swing, but it's not good enough, unfortunately, and Twen will pick him up, and immediately after go back in for Ryback. After Ryback takes down Kota, it's a 3v4 still. Bomb is still in the hands of Wally, and Wally's going to look to make his way towards mid, waiting for the support of Pommy to potentially come back up. Not quite certain what the plan is here. They're both looking at each other as if to say, well, what are we going to do? How do we do this? And that smoke should be very good for... It is indeed. Very good indeed. Lots of good utility used to get themselves onto the side. The plant will go in, and that's from Wally. Be happy with the money from plant at least anyway to take them into round 12. Maybe if Poppy can get 1 or 2 picks from this. At least 1 pick will be good. Oh, he's not going to get anything from that. He's just walked out into a 3-man stack. 3-8 into round 12 in the later stage, the latter half of the latter part of the first half, I should say. From a Team Tan perspective, not the best of 3 rounds in a row. Push them into an awkward position now where they're going to have to go into economy mode. Try and save up as much as they can. Pommy will take a frag elsewhere on the map, however, and that's an AWP recovery, which is definitely tasty from an EsportsWales perspective. Ollie does have a Galil to work with as well, so he's standing by to support right back and Mister, just in case they get pushed from this angle as well. That flashbang will definitely come in handy for right back and Mister if they don't want to peek that position dry from Monster. But at the minute, it's gone very, very slow. Sometimes you need this though as well. I'll be the first to admit it. Sometimes you need a very slow down round. You know, take stock of what's going on around you. Take stock of how things are happening. Wally there trying to go for 1. Right back will get dropped. Ollie's there, but he's not quick enough, unfortunately, to save Mister. And this is a good side push as far as Ollie's concerned. Pommy's there, in fact, as well. And Pommy could do a hell of a lot of damage with the ult from this position. He does, in fact, get the first opening pick. That's Kota taking out the fight. And you would guess that Ortek Horus would want to keep this AK. But he's in a very, very naughty position, in fact. That hole in the door will give him a good shot at taking Pommy out the fight. He's not quick enough for the first shot, and Pommy will follow up with a good re-peek and take that fight on. 9-3 in favour of Team Tan still. Good round indeed from Team Tan. Got the recoveries they needed to do. They pushed site in the best possible way. Yes, they lost numbers trying to take on the site, but you know, having that extra backup as far as Ollie's concerned with the Galil, that's, you know, having a huge impact into the play at the minute. Speaking of Ollie, by the way, we'll stick with him as he looks to push us open to, again, another advanced position for him to try and stop the peak from mid from our CT. That smoke is just going to be well timed, in fact, to stop anything from happening from that. Wally will take out a player on a long. Well, looks things, yeah, that was an A long kill. Kota in a very awkward position there. Will get taken down by the frag grenade as Mister and Pommy do their work in getting that play ready to push on to B site once again. Bomb is in play towards B as well also, and we do have players making big efforts to get themselves down into position there. Mister going to be taking the first brunt of the contact as he pushes himself through into site. Ollie has bomb. He can come up in a moment. Now he knows the position's clear for him to do so. Oh, right back will swing out. Mister's just, he's on fire at the minute. Look at that, 12 and 6. He's really enjoying this night. Same for Pommy as well. I mean, they've definitely been the workhorses as far as pushing sites concerned as we head into the last one round of the first half. Go ahead and check the ADRs very quickly as well. Lots of utility damage coming in from the CTs, to be expected, of course, while they use Molotovs to delay pushes into site. Still very good ADRs as far as EsportsWales are concerned. Mister just, as we said, loving life. Pommy. Must have heard me say that the utility damage isn't that high for EsportsWales. You'll pop a grenade out, it will land in the lap of Vectors, but Vectors will actually come off the better in that fight, in fact, and take down Ollie and grab himself an AK out of it as well. This is a bit tasty from our CTs, or from the CTs, I should say. They managed to get a couple of weapons out of this fight. 2 AKs in the hands of Vectors and Ortec Ozorus. I need a medal for pronouncing these sort of names, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. I don't know if anyone wants to give me one over Twitter, you know, something like that maybe. A little bit of a plug. You can follow me on Twitter at ReaperSteve1. Don't forget to follow EsportsWales on their socials as well, of course, and join the Discord to get involved in all the games that they play. Good push as far as A site's concerned. Ollie there being ever cautious to clear out Optimus. Bomb will get planted, I should say, at Optimus as well. And now it's time to try and get those eager post-plant positions. Smoke will evaporate just in time for Twen to get his head taken off by Mister from the long A position. Definitely favoured by him at the moment. He gets a second pick, in fact. That's the AK, 2 AKs that were recovered, dropped and lost as we head into the final round of the first half. I don't know what you guys, but I'm definitely enjoying this matchup. As far as Team Tan are concerned, they just seem to be doing everything right at the minute. Thoroughly enjoying the gameplay from them. Very much enjoying the retakes that they've done to try and hold positions. They've done a lot of work, and you can tell that they're learning from their mistakes over the last couple of games, or over the games they've had. We won't win number 3, and this is already starting to head in that direction. Ollie will pick up a frag as the B push starts to make its way through. He does have support in the form of Ryback. Ryback doing a lot of damage there, and Pommy actually getting the finish and kill. Again, you look at Pommy as a player, and he is thriving at the minute in this EsportsWales side. Should see a retake. CTs have nothing else to lose essentially in this round. Ooh. Ryback's on low HP. They're going to be careful here. Pommy's lucky there not to drop on that one. 1v1, and Ryback will actually win the round. What a half. 12-3. Jeez. Absolutely wonderfully played from a Team Tam perspective. We're going to go back to our camera screen. Wonderfully played from a Team Tam perspective. Everything that you want to see and more. Very, very, very happy with the way that round started off, and the way that the half started, and even more happy the way it ended. Yes, those 3 rounds are a little bit of speed bump in the way, but realistically, very happy and content moving into the second half. We're going to take a very small intermission while we wait for the second half to be ready. Back with you very, very shortly. See you in a moment. And we are back with the second half. Matches live. Let's get this going. Big, massive, humongous pistol round needed from Team Tan. They win this, and I'll be honest, if they win pistol, I hate saying this because I know it's going to come back to bite me. If they win pistol, I think we're done. Yeah, you know, I think we're in a good position to call it at that point. At the minute, however, T's are actually opting to go to an A push, which Pommy's going to be the first man to see anything happening here at some point. Unfortunately, he doesn't, because they've gone through in through playground, and they're already up long A. They're already actually cleared long A, in fact, when you think about it. They're now pushing through toilet, the rear toilet. Okay, that's the call for A rotation. Get yourself back into position. Wally's already heading himself back up very, very quickly. This retake needs to happen, and it needs to happen in force as far as the Team Tan is concerned. Oh, a lot of damage laid onto Pommy there. It's going to fall, I believe, in a second. No, not before taking his own enemy out there, in fact. He will fall in the end. Wally is going to try and do something here. He's in a 1v2. He's got not a lot of HP to work with. He has a flash, so he can perhaps peek this not dry, but you should know from experience that these T players aren't going to be in positions where they could potentially get flash from Bank, knowing that he's already taken on a fight there. He'll get the first, he won't get the second. Oh, he'd be disappointed with that. I can almost guarantee he'll be watching this back afterwards, and he will be not happy about not connecting those last couple of shots. Massively unfortunate. Nonetheless, still 12-4, still all to play for as far as Team Tan are concerned. You know, they need to put some good defensive play in here, and you know, it only takes those 1 or 2 lucky rounds for things to really pop off from Mr. being our first CT player that's going to see a lot of the action. And it's all action at the minute. Oh, Ollie! You absolute filthy player with the deal. Takes down 3 of his own. And I wouldn't say it's winnable as far as Ryback's concerned, but if he gets the opening one, which is the low HP player, it leaves 1v1. Yes, it's an A game play against the USP, but it's all about positioning as far as Ryback's concerned. If he's able to get the play read off quite nicely, and he can rotate into A, which it feels like he's already heading in that direction. Yeah, he knows the bomb's getting planted up there. He needs to take this very, very slowly. Once he gets a read of where bomb is planted, the post-plant positions for this bomb plant are very few. Long A is going to be obviously where we see Twen go. Realistically, it could be long A or it could be towards toilet. So as long as he can clear at least one of them, you should know then where the rest of where Twen is going to be hiding from. And this is why we see him clear that position. Oh, he's just a little bit too eager to get onto site and doesn't hear the footstep coming from his left. And Twen will win that round out. 12-5. Still in favour of Team Tan, but 2 rounds lost back-to-back there in the first half. Big buy round coming in from Team Tan's perspective into round 3. And a round that they need to put a bit of hurt in as far as Divergence is concerned. We'll stick with a buyback for a moment. It looks like he's going to be the first player to see much of the action. That grenade is big, and it lands in the lap of a few different players, in fact. Ryback will get 1 out of that fight, but he's not got a lot of room to maneuver with. And Wally just comes out of nowhere and just starts laying the hammer down. Perfectly played on that rotation back into sight to give his teammates that assist. Wonderful play from a Team Tan perspective, and we go 13-5. And that was the round that the hurt needed to be laid out, and it was. (13-5) in favour of Team Tan. That Molotov should land in the feet of a number of players. Ollie's popping off now as well. Also, he wants a bit of the action. Pommy will fall. Mister will take a player down elsewhere on the map. On Ollie, one more. Oh, isn't able to get the additional kill there, but he does have support in form of Wally, who has just been an absolute danger man since the second half started. Right back might be able to get the read here on Twen. It's going to be a case of who spots who first. Well, I don't think right back saw the back of the player. Obviously, we've got a lot of game knowledge having X-ray turned on for ourselves. Quietly down the ladder he goes. Twen's not going to hear him come up behind him. And that's it. 14-5. Let's go Team Tan. They are absolutely massacring them at the minute. Forces their hand as well as far as Divergence is concerned. They have to do an eco round because they cannot afford to lose the next round after this. You know, I'm putting it down as a lost round already from an eco round perspective, but they just haven't really performed that well in ecos. They've taken players down, but they haven't won those rounds. And it's rounds on the board that's counting heavily at the moment in Team Tan's favour. Twen will get an opening pick, however. Ollie is just slapping shots out with the AUG. Get a third out of that fight as well also. Needs to pull himself back, however. He's a little bit extended at the minute, and he's hurting quite a fair bit after those first couple of shots landed into him. Vectors is hunting, however. He's looking for the frag. Otech is there also, and he's landed a shot into Ollie to bring his health down even further. It's whether Ollie gets the read from the player coming to his right-hand side. He'll get the first. He won't get the second to get the ace. He's so close to getting the ace there. Bomb will start to get planted up on A site. We do have Wally, however, coming up behind. That flashbang from a teammate is actually just not a good one. And Ryback actually gets an assist on the kill of his own friend, which is a little bit of a frustrated moment for him, most likely. But that's 15-5, and we head into the penultimate round. As I said, it forced Divergence's hand. They had to eco the last round to ensure they had money to spend in this one. And again, we're at a must-win round for them. Big round from EsportsWales, and this is all over with. All over with time to spare as well. Ollie's pushing in a very advanced position, getting himself into picnic. Or party, as some players like to call it. Oh, right back, and Palmy just banging shots out at everything that comes up in front of him. This is all over with. Vtex is the last player left alive. We'll check in with him as he scopes in to swing himself out on towards long A. He will get one in the form of right back, but that gives the game away as far as where his position is. And Mister's ready to swing, and he'll finish the game off for us there. What a well played game for the entirety of it as far as Team Tan are concerned. I'm going to go ahead and get myself back on screen for you, but that was just perfect as far as gameplay is concerned. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see that last week when we were watching Team Tan. I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to watch it tonight together. I don't even have any kind of like any feedback. It's kind of nice to be able to finish off the cast without having to give feedback on players and see a big win coming out from a Team Tan perspective. As always, my name is Reaper Steve. You can find me at ReaperSteve1 on Twitter. Drop me a follow on there if you want to stay up to date on everything that I'm doing in the background. Follow EsportsWales. Don't forget to do that. That's the most important thing if you take anything from this evening. Get involved with these guys. They do a lot of activities on Discord. Get involved in that as well. Also, otherwise though, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I'll see you all tomorrow night at 7:30 sharp. We'll catch Team Dua take on UGN, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. I'll see you there.